Kristen's and Sarah's old room. I guess you guys can figure out what happened to the mattresses. This is something Kristen drew when she was in the third grade. Pretty nice shading. Very impressed. She was always very intelligent. Lots of ability to draw things, ability to read things, to remember things. When she was a very little toddler, she would kick my rear end on the memory game. I don't know about toddler, but when she was like very, very, very young, I have a very bad memory. Struggling in the dictation and oral perception. These are old toys that were left behind. Struggling in oral perception dictation because I can't remember what was played. I mean, not only do I struggle with solfege, which I'm starting to learn, but I just can't remember the parts, so I have to play it over and over and over again, which is fine when you're using Artusi, but it doesn't work out so well when you're taking a test. So these are some posters that Kristen put up, and yes, I do need to repaint the walls. I don't know how I'm gonna, if I ever do get around to repainting the walls, I don't know how I'm going to repaint the walls with these here. I don't know, maybe I would have to it would take a long time, but maybe I'd have to hand paint around it. I'd paint the walls, everywhere else, but then go back in and put a rectangle around that and then go paint inside the rectangle. Maybe. I don't know. Really good question. It'd be easier if you could just get more wall clings, but I don't know. Kristen drew that one. She was really young too. I don't know what age. Don't know. Just found it lying around the house, so I decided to stick it up. Sarah was happy that Kristen came back. So this is their old room, and it's sturdy, but it's at least livable. I just have to get mattresses for it. So my Iron Man number 778. I used to have that tilted better, but I don't now. So the pictures are not here. A lot of them went with the mom. I mean, I could print out more, but I've got some backups. There's some old pictures that they left behind. So here, yeah, I know the bed is really low to the ground, but it's a new mattress. It's new bedding, new sheets. I did test it out, make sure it worked. It is, I put plastic over it so I wouldn't get my germs all over the mattress. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make sure it would work. It's a steel frame, so it should hold just about anything. It's just low down to the ground. In fact, actually, I checked these out, and they actually will support me, but it's really, really cutting it close. So it's not something you would really want an adult sleeping on, but an adult could sleep on this. It's like a military bunk bed, but it's only cuter, And unfortunately, it is low to the ground. That is embarrassing. I took the little knob off and stuck this little Hope thing here. Probably should put the knob back on. I meant to give that to Hope for Christmas, but I never got around to it. Caitlin and I worked on this together. It was for a school project. I took her to Hobby Lobby. We picked out the parts and we worked together. It was supposed to be her school deal. I tried not to interfere too much. Anyways, it got left here when she left. This is from a little time when I took Caitlin on an impromptu deal at UARC where they had a percussion percussion session. She was interested in drums at the time, and I got in trouble for that actually because she was supposedly on restriction. So here I was taking her out when she was on restriction, and I wound up getting her some nice chicken or something like that. And you're not supposed to do that. Dad's not supposed to buy ice cream when they're supposed to be taking a nap and that kind of stuff. But actually, I used to make Caitlin earn her ice cream by doing certain things, tennis accomplishing certain tennis tasks. But then after they moved out, then they were like, I want ice cream, and they didn't really want to earn it anymore. And so that wasn't good. It's a birthday present for Jennifer that she doesn't want. It's a really nice birthday present. It's not like romantic or anything. It's just a nice birthday present that she could definitely use. Walk by Faith. I've got a daughter named Faith. She seems to be pretty good at it, but most everybody I know seems to have absolutely zero faith now. Even most of the people I know at my church, and I know I haven't been the best, haven't behaved the best, but most people would tell you to quit and hang it up rather than try to fix things. Ironman time, average time for my age, 13 hours, 17 minutes, and 17 seconds. Yes, I was on the course for 13 hours. It's like a 2.4 mile swim, 102 mile bike ride, 26.2 mile run, all in the same day. The swim nearly kicked me out. Barely didn't make the swim cutoff, but once I got on the bike, because I'm a former USAC racer, I did pretty well on that. I mean, I really ate the time up after that, but that swim killed me. I was training a few days before the swim in Florida by myself in the Gulf of Mexico it's on a beach, but on the side of the Gulf of Mexico, there was no lifeguards out there swimming at my own risk. And they did have helicopters come by every now and then. But anyways, so I ran across some jellyfish, no sharks that I know of, because you couldn't see. You'd think in Panama City you could see, but nope, not really. That's one of the reasons why I chose to go there when they canceled Ironman Tulsa, because I should have been done by then, but they canceled Ironman Tulsa due to COVID, so I delayed to Ironman Florida. And then I got right up to the date, I started getting sick for Ironman Florida, and I canceled, I was chickened out at the last minute and deferred for another year and trained for another year. And then when I got in there, I barely made the cutoff, but nobody died or anything like that. I don't guess anybody got COVID or anything. I hope not. Boy, everybody looks pretty happy there. That was here in Northwest Arkansas. Kristen actually sent me her graduation picture. I'm surprised. It's on the fridge. This is back when Kristen's always been super smart. She aced the spelling bee, and she really should have gone on to state, but some kid beat her barely. And I was so upset about that because I know how smart Kristen is. I have very high expectations for her, but people have misinterpreted my high expectations for my daughter, which is an absolute genius, by the way. They misinterpret it for a lack of compassion and lack of love. And they were so far off base. And the end result of that is that now my daughter is not doing very well because whether she realizes it or not, she needs her dad. But she's not willing to admit that. And neither is most people I know, including my Christian friends and my frenemies. They don't want to admit that my daughter needs her dad. So there's a big lawn back there. I mow it with a manual lawnmower. I push lawnmower. It is a royal pain to mow this lawn with a human-powered lawnmower. I used to have a push lawnmower, but now I have a human-powered lawnmower. It's called a reel lawnmower. And you push it, and then when you're pushing it, that causes the reels to spin, and that supposedly cuts the grass. But if the grass gets above 4 inches, good luck. And that's already probably above 4 inches now. So next time I go to mow, I'm going to have a really fun time. It's going to be a joy. I do have a gas-powered weed eater. You don't want to know what happened to my lawnmower. My lawnmower, the deck cracked because I'd run over sticks and stuff, and the deck busted. I could probably show you, actually. Not that you would want to see it, but I was learning to play flute. But these are puzzles that Caitlin and Sarah were working on before they left with their mother. And I'm not sure exactly where they were on the floor. I think this wasn't on this table, but it was out in the. Oh, I wasn't supposed to show this room because this house is like a disaster, you know. I've tried because after 5 years of me being by myself, it was out in this room. After 5 years of being myself, it's just kind of like gotten really, really messed up. And I started cleaning it up recently to recover that, and I had to work on the toilet, which was in horrible shape. I actually had everything in here clean one Christmas, and I didn't get to see my kids. I don't get it. You know, I had it clean, ready for them to come over, you know. But nope. Mom wouldn't make the trip over here, even though I still love her. So, anyways, I don't know where those puzzles were, but I moved this table in here and kind of kept the puzzle intact. Now, I doubt all the puzzle pieces are still here, but hopefully, you know, they'll still be here. I don't actually eat on this table. It'll still be here someday when I croak or whatever. I croak and they come in here, and it was an anniversary present for Jennifer that she didn't want. I have another one that's really, 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 really super nice that she was supposed to get the year right before she left. She never saw that one. Actually got it around Christmas time, but I thought it was so special that I shouldn't give it until anniversary. And she never saw it. Maybe I should have given it to her for Christmas. And just, you know, when you give something so exceptionally special for Christmas, then you're like, what are you going to do if you got to follow up for anniversary in March? You know, you got to be careful about expectations when you go all out on the, you know, the first date or first year of marriage. Then when you get up to like year 15, it's like, what do you do now? You know, we went to like Disney World and Discovery Cove, which was awesome for our 10-year anniversary because I had money back then because I worked for the Department of Defense. And no, I don't know any Chinese. I'm not the nicest guy, but you know, I'm certainly no holy man, but I don't know any Chinese friends. Well, there's a coworker, but I don't want to get into that. But I don't have any connections to the Chinese government or any other foreign government. But anyways, this is my bicycle. I thought about naming it. I should give it a name. I could think of some names, but if I mention one, someone might take offense. I don't know. Girl names. I would name it a girl name, probably. But bicycles are like family to me. I think I could probably sell this bicycle and get a little bit out of it, but not a whole lot. It's one of the few things I still have that's got money. And this bicycle is not worth a whole lot of anything, but the bags are pretty pricey, and they work really good, by the way. These Ordeleb bags, I highly recommend them. If you do a lot of commuting, don't have a car, very much recommended. So here's, oh my, what's this? That was my favorite movie at one time. And I actually tried that on her. I got two copies, the actual physical hard copy and the electronic copy. And I'm not sure she would have wanted to see the things that I wrote in the hard copy where you're supposed to write your notes, but so it's probably best she didn't see that, but I did try. And I actually went to marital counseling with her, and yes, I know I'm an overly negative person, but it's just happened. Look at that. His arm's broken. What does it say here? Nothing is... You probably can't read it. I should say nothing is stronger than our love. Nothing is stronger than our love. You know, I bet a bit of Gorilla Glue would fix that. Probably fix our marriage too, but she doesn't want me using Gorilla Glue on our marriage. She'd like to say it's over and throw it away, quit. You know, Iron Man finishers don't like to quit very easily. I have done some stupid things. You know, I flirted with some people that I shouldn't have on more than one occasion, but unfortunately, it never gone anywhere, which is quite a blessing, actually, because I really don't want a relationship with anyone, but, by myself, I get kind of, I don't know, it's hard by myself. So, and I need to be able to see my children, and I need a good role model for them, like their mother. I mean, their mom is the ideal role model, but I mean, I mean, they need me too. But I grew up under my dad, not having my mom, and so I thought with them growing up with their mom that they would be fine. But clearly, that's not the case. I had deficiencies growing up with just my. I had deficiencies growing up with just my dad. And I thought that their mom would be able to help them with that, and I was hoping I'd get more visitation than my mom had with me, but that didn't work out quite so well. So anyway, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I have a hard time controlling my mouth. I say something to certain people, I might say that I think they're pretty or whatever, and I like their dress or something, but then because they're already in a relationship, then that gets me in tons of trouble. And I know I shouldn't be doing that. And that's totally unbiblical. But technically speaking, since I'm not dating anyone, then there's no way I could have possibly committed adultery. And that's actually that's actually one of the only reasons that you can actually get a divorce according to the Bible, is through adultery. And I haven't technically committed that. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't want to, but I haven't done it yet. I mean, it's like wanting to. Well, I hate to say this. This is a horrible example because you should never want to kill anybody's. But it's like wanting to kill somebody and not killing them, and killing them. They're two totally different things. You could think for a moment that you want to well, actually, that would be a military operation, but you might get mad at Saddam Hussein, which actually had a bounty on his head at one time. But I'm too old to be a bounty hunter, and Saddam Hussein's long gone. So, whatever. Anyways, this Juno DS still has resale value. You're probably wondering how in the world I got 3 pianos. Well, this one I had when we were together, and it was pretty good. I bought it when I was an electrical engineering student in Oklahoma State University. It served me pretty well, but the keys aren't weighted, so that's a bit of a problem. But it was fine for me back then, and it works as a MIDI controller. It can't send control change messages like pitch bend modulation and other CC messages. You can't adjust filters with it, but it does the job. And so, anyways, I found out that Kristen was kind of missing a piano, and the pastor had let her have his wife's piano or something like that. And so I said, you don't need to do that. And I sent this piano to them. Well, apparently they didn't want my piano, but they kept it for a while. And then she sent it back saying it was out of tune. Well, it wasn't really out of tune. Electric pianos don't go out of tune. Somebody had messed. There's a tuning knob. I don't know why Roland decided to put one on the back, but there's a tuning knob on the back, and it looked like someone had purposely misadjusted the tuning knob way out just to prove a point. So I went and put the tuning knob in the right position, and it was fine. And by that time, I had already gotten this to be a replacement. And I wrote Jenny, You Are My Love without any keyboards whatsoever, because this was with Kristen, and I didn't have any of these two. And so I got this as a replacement because for EDM music, this is the ideal type piano. But then I took a piano class at University of Arkansas, and I'm actually technically a music major now, even though I'm getting my rear end kicked. I'm struggling most widely, but these keys aren't really weighted to any amount. I mean, they may say they're semi weighted, but that's like you can't even tell. With the Roland Gino DS, which I would highly recommend for someone that's learning, it may not be as good as a Kwai, but it's pretty good. It's got hammer action weighted keys, and it feels pretty close to a piano, but it's nothing close. It's nowhere close to the Steinway Essexes that University Arkansas has in the music building. I mean, I probably shouldn't have just said that, but they do have a few of those in there. And they're uprights. They're beautiful. They probably got some. I mean, they've got other nicer pianos than that. But this is the one that the non-piano majors play on. Is the Steinway Essexes, and they're really really nice. But I cannot. I can't afford a Steinway Essex piano, and this place is not climate controlled. So, so this is a pretty good compromise for when you want to practice at home. So that's how I wound up with this. I got this to learn